If you've been following Formula One this season, you know that one driver has drawn a lot of attention: championship contender Charles Leclerc. During his time in the sport, the Monegasque has left quite an impression. Here is our list of the top things about Charles Leclerc, the star driver from Ferrari. Make sure to watch until the end because you wouldn't want to miss that one tragedy that has definitely changed everything for the Ferrari driver. Let's begin. Number 10. Pure power in Formula 2. Born in the Mediterranean beauty of Monaco and raised in one of the most renowned motor racing sites on earth, few could have expected his significance at the summit of motorsport, even if it seemed he was bound for Formula One. Charles Leclerc, the star of the first generation of F2 drivers, burst into the scene during the inaugural season of the championship in 2017, proving ample evidence that it was legitimate. Leclerc won the title on his first attempt after completing GP3, a spectacular performance that cemented his status as a future star. When he won the pole in his maiden Formula 2 race for Ferrari-affiliated Prima Racing in Bahrain, the junior Formula A community sat up and took note. He continued to enjoy a completely dominant season, finishing 72 points ahead of the highly regarded and seasoned Artem Markelov with 7 victories and 7 pole positions. Number 9. His first time driving a Formula One car. In his first practice session for the 2016 British Grand Prix, Leclerc experienced driving an F1 car for the first time. He was obviously going to test with a Ferrari-affiliated squad because he was a member of the Ferrari Driver Academy. Charles Leclerc is highly appreciated by Ferrari, and his track record speaks for itself. In his instance, it was the youthful team, led by Gunther Steiner-Haas, were delighted to offer this chance and support the training of the upcoming crop of Formula One drivers. In 2016, there was anticipation that if Leclerc won the GP3, he would follow in the footsteps of Valtteri Bottas and Daniil Kvyat, who went straight from GP3 to Formula One. Unfortunately, the Haas team principal dispelled the rumor and declared that the young Monaco would instead go up to Formula 2. Leclerc took part in the mid-season Yugo Ring test for the 2017 season, driving the Ferrari SF-70H. He finished first in the standings after completing 98 laps on the first day, thus solidifying his place at the top of the motorsports world. Number 8. He collects a stunning array of supercars. Given his career choice and reported net worth of $125 million, Charles is an apparent car fanatic. Also abundant in the Monegasque gas, he is from Monaco, which is renowned as a sanctuary for the wealthy and famous. So put those two things together, and you have the makings of an astounding vehicle collection. He presently owns several of the most sought-after automobiles in the world, such as the Ferrari GTC4, Ferrari F8, McLaren G, Jaguar XF, Land Rover Discovery, and Rolls-Royce Rave. But the Bugatti Chiron is the collection's prized possession. This $3 million monster is the quickest, most potent, and most expensive production supersports vehicle ever made by Bugatti. With a quad-turbo W12 engine, the huge low Bugatti can reach 60 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds and a top speed of 261 miles per hour. For comparison, that is around 30 miles per hour quicker than the highest speed an F1 car has ever reached. Moving on to number 7. Charles Leclerc is a Twitch streamer. With the popularity of gaming Formula One simulators, many of the sport's youthful drivers have turned to streaming services like Twitch to demonstrate their skills, offer entertainment off the track, and engage with their younger followers. While his YouTube channel is dormant, Charles' Twitch channel has over 760,000 subscribers, continuing the tradition of younger racers like Lando Norris. According to Charles, Twitch served as a crucial part for enjoyment during this pandemic, as well as for maintaining mental and emotional acuity during the off-season. Charles also asserts that unlike during race weekends and press conferences, the Twitch channel enables racers to be authentic and present a side of themselves to their fans that is more in line with their true personalities. Setting aside all the seriously good things about the racing superstar, here comes the fun facts. Did you know in one interview with Autosport where he and Carlos Sainz answered hilarious F1 fan assumptions, he responded to one of the assumptions where they thought he likes pizza that has pineapple? Well, he definitely disagreed on that one. He said he wasn't really into it and he thinks that no one ever likes that kind of pizza and he will never be trying it ever. Well, now you know, racing fans, your idol dislikes that kind of food, just like how much he dislikes snakes, as he mentioned in the same interview. Well, let's get back to the list. Number 6. Family Tragedy. In the summer of 2017, Leclerc was forced to race in Formula 2 in Baku 3 days following his father's passing. He won the first race despite his personal suffering by more than half a second margin. Due to a 10-second penalty, he was forced to start 8th in the second race, which he eventually won as well. Because I lost him on the Wednesday before the race, the pain was still extremely fresh, making it very difficult to accept. I simply reminded myself that for him, seeing me compete was everything, and that he would never want me to suffer before the race and perform poorly. I was delighted to have honored him in this way, since the only thing he would have wanted me to do was win the race for him, according to Charles. Number 5. The number 16 was not his first choice. Charles Leclerc wanted his race number to be 7 when he initially entered Formula One. However, Kimi Raikkonen had already claimed the number. His second choice was the number 10, but Toro Rosso driver Pierre Gasly had already taken it. Leclerc finally settled on the number 16 as his third option after making several attempts. He gave the following justification. The sum of the digits for 16 is 1 plus 6, which equals to 7. Even after Raikkonen's retirement, the Ferrari superstar chose to keep his number 16, possibly indicating that he found a new lucky number. Number 4. With Leclerc, Ferrari took a chance. Teams and driver academies normally seek to promote their drivers early in their careers, but Ferrari has always done and will continue to do things a little differently than the other teams in the paddock. On the other hand, Scuderia often favors hiring experienced drivers with a track record of success. For example, look at Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel. Leclerc's replacement of 2007 world champion Kimi Raikkonen was therefore a significant statement about both his performance and his first campaign with Sauber and the level of proficiency Ferrari anticipated in him. Leclerc was signed by Ferrari earlier than any other racer since Gilles Villeneuve in 1977. Number 3. He is the godson of Jules Bianchi. After his first session with his godfather, French racing driver Jules Bianchi, Charles was 4 years old when he first climbed into a kart and became addicted to the rush of speed. They all spent a lot of time together and developed a great friendship because Bianchi was Leclerc's older brother's best friend. He was very open in saying that he gained a lot of knowledge from him, especially in his early years of karting. He said that he had called the potential to have a successful F1 career. As Leclerc advanced in the motorsports hierarchy, Bianchi died in an accident during the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix. He was in a coma for 9 months before passing away the following year. Leclerc's father passed away 2 years later. The F1 driver claimed that his 2 tragic experiences had strengthened him as a person and a driver. 2 incredibly hard moments in my life made me stronger as a person and a driver. Mentally, I am stronger than I used to be because they definitely stayed with you forever. Unfortunately, I lost my father quite early and it changes you forever, according to him. For the Ferrari driver, those were really terrible events. He can be seen as a really strong person. Speaking of relationships, Charles started dating Charlotte Sine in the year 2019. Sine is an architect who also runs a business making personalized footwear. Although she currently has over 500,000 Instagram followers, she keeps details about her relationship with Leclerc mostly to herself. While Leclerc doesn't also post much about their relationship, considering the amount of followers he has, which is about 9.2 million on Instagram, he does however post a lot of updates about his racing career as well as with his personal time outside the racing car. Number 2. Grand Slam Achiever. Only a tiny handful of Formula One drivers have achieved what Charles did at the 2022 Australian Grand Prix. As he crossed the line to claim victory at Albert Park, he became the 26th F1 driver in history to complete a Grand Slam. The Monaco driver won the race and set the fastest lap while starting from pole position. He was the first Ferrari driver to accomplish this feat since Fernando Alonso in Singapore in 2010 by leading every lap of the race. Leclerc acknowledges that this honor means little to him. The fact that he crosses the finish line first and performs well is ultimately what counts to him. And finally, let's move on to number 1. His younger brother is also a racer. In his second Formula 3 season with the Prima team, Arthur Leclerc, like Charles, is a graduate of Ferrari's driving academy. After competing in the Formula Regional European Championship in 2020 with the Italian squad, he will be in his third season with Prima. While Charles is willing to let his brother's talents grow naturally, he has acknowledged that he and Arthur have a lot of support for one another, who has occasionally offered advice from the sidelines that he is aware that I am available for any personal needs he may have. It will be the first time in 15 years that two siblings have competed against one another at the highest level if the younger Arthur makes it into F1 before Charles quits. Michael and Ralph Schumacher shared the grid for the last time in 2006. Whenever he needs help, he knows that I'm here for him and he can call me anytime. But most of the time we are just talking about our lives, just like how normal brothers do, says the older brother. And that's pretty much brings an end to our list. What are your thoughts on Charles Leclerc as a person and an F1 driver? Do you think he'll be able to win the season? Leave your comments down below and don't forget to subscribe.